Imagine you grow up in Foxborough, Massachusetts, famous for Gillette Stadium, New England Patriots, everything with football, but you grew up playing ping pong. That's how I felt when I grew up in a small town called Aurangabad in India. While the rest of the India is obsessed with the game of the cricket, I grew up playing baseball. And nobody outside my town knew anything about baseball. There was no internet, there was no TV, there was no professional game, there was no books, and still kids in my town played baseball. How? No one knows how it began, but a sixth grader will teach a fifth grader will teach a fourth grader. We had informal teams among kids, and if we find a space, we'll play baseball there. And we still end up playing close to real rules. I was in the fifth grade, and our team was about to face a very strong team. And this game was very, very important to me. I had a crush on a girl, and her brother was in the rival team. I have decided she's my soulmate, and I'm going to marry her. Of course, she had no idea about that. But I knew if I lose this game, I will be ridiculed by my in-laws forever. And I can't let that happen. So I have to somehow figure out ways to, some kind of thing to win this game. I am a Hindu, and according to scriptures, we Hindus have 3.3 billion gods. There is a god of wind, there is a god of water, there is a god of everything. So I thought there must be a god of baseball, and we should appeal to him. But my idea was immediately shot down, because no one has heard about god of baseball, and why a Hindu god will help baseball, which is a Western game. But I wouldn't give up. I went in search of Rajiv. Rajiv was in the sixth grade. He had taught me baseball. He was my mentor, guru, and answer to everything. I had a lot of respect for him. So I asked him about god of baseball, and he says, there is no such thing. I was devastated, because I don't want to believe that. And I lost complete respect for him forever. But I also saw an opening here. If the god of baseball does not exist, why don't I create one? But my first biggest worry was, what if my mom finds out? And what if there is some kind of a license fee? Or if there is a tax on God creation? But then my fifth grader brain also thought, if there are 3.3 billion gods, it would be a while till someone realizes there is a new god in town. So I could sneak in a new god under the radar, get him followers, and make him really powerful. And because we are creating this god from scratch, so I'm just going to have a rule that this god only helps my team. That's going to be our winning strategy. So I went to the team, I lied to them and told, okay, we could create a new god of baseball. And everybody became creative. And so my friend Nitin said, god of baseball likes new haircut. Vikram said, hey, when we are hitting, we need to sway our hips like that, because god of baseball likes that. Umesh said, when we are pitching, we need to look like that, because that will make god of baseball happy and he'll make the hitter strike out. So the day of the game came in, we all came with the new haircut. We started swaying our hips and pitching with the looking deep in the eyes, but nothing was working. At the bottom of sixth inning, we were down 0-4. I was pitching, and it was not looking good. I looked at the sky and said to God of baseball, hey, I created you and got you followers. Now you have to help me here. Because if we stop believing you, you won't exist anymore. Do you realize? This is your life at stake here. Do you understand? And suddenly everything started working well as we wanted. We finally won that game 5-4. But god of baseball also had limitations. outside the field, we needed a God of friendship. And there wasn't a divine intervention when our team broke apart. Several years later, I moved to Boston, and one day I went to Fenway Park. What a day! Fenway Park was so big, it was way bigger than I thought. And then I saw there is a whole religion of baseball here with its own followers and rituals. But when you see professional baseball players have the same superstitions and rituals and insecurities like we had when we were playing the game in 5th grade, thousands of miles away in India, you start wondering, is there a divine connection here? Since that summer, I haven't created any new God. I'm still a proud Hindu, but those adult talk I had with my parents really were more useful and practical for day-to-day life. So these days, I rely more on my humanity than the divinity. But if there is a God of baseball, I'm pretty sure he currently lives in Boston.